All right, gang, how we going? It's Brad Shepherd here from Create PT Wealth, and here with another one of our Create PT Wealth super success stories. And we're very privileged, very honoured today to have the fantastic Victoria Loney from over in Western Australia. So, how you going, Vic?
What up? Pumped, eh?
Excellent, great to have you on this video audio program today. So, what we want to do with these presentations is really give each of our people, all of our clients, the people on our database, the opportunity to meet some of our superstars who have come through the Create PT Wealth program and hear a bit about them and hear about their experience in the industry and what's happening for them at the moment. So, Vic, I'm going to launch straight into it. What wouldn't mind you doing for us is to give us a bit about your background. How did you get into the industry? What was your first? How long ago did you get qualified? What was your first taste of it? All that sort of stuff.
Yeah, awesome. So for me, I've been in the industry for about 5 years now. What initially kind of sparked me to get into it was I was living overseas in London, and I'd put on quite a bit of weight over there just due, I guess like the partying atmosphere and just the lifestyle over there.
Yeah,
and
the Heathrow injection, it's called, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I guess for me, it was the very first time in my life that I'd actually had to look at my weight and go, I'm quite out of shape, and I had to start to get into the gyms.
Yep.
Over there, obviously the weather's extremely cold, so that was the main starting point for me. From there, I guess I don't think the initial reason was very unique. It was just like everyone else, like I want to help people, and I want to be able to help people get to their goals, and it felt so good for me to lose weight, and I want to help them. So that for me was like the starting point. And that's when I came back over from London and I ripped straight into the old AIF course, and that's how I kicked it all off.
Nice. You did AIF over in Perth in WA?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. When did that, like full time or something, and then did you launch straight into the industry, did you?
Yeah, exactly. So I first initially I did like the personal training course, and I did the massage course as well. And then I was like right in. I did that all full time, and then I launched straight into becoming a personal trainer.
Yeah, cool. And where'd you start at? Because you've been at a couple of gyms now.
Yeah. I first started at a big box gym, one of the Good Life gyms.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. And how long did you have there? How many years was it at Good Life?
I was there for quite some time, actually. I was there for 3.5 years. So I lasted quite a decent amount there.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, cool. And then, so talk us through, then you moved from there to another place, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. So I went from Good Life first, initially started off there, and then from there I moved to Anytime Fitness, and now I'm at another gym called Green Zone Fitness in Warwick. Again, it's like another kind of big box gym.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So moved from Good Life, got yourself to Anytime, and just my memory from you joining up at Anytime was that at that point in time you're looking to possibly build the team there.
Yeah.
You're not sure if you quite found, no disrespect to Anytime Gym, but just particularly the setup for you and the business you're looking to build didn't quite gel. Is that right?
Yeah, well, if I'll be completely transparent about it. Like I left Good Life probably under a little bit of tension, so things weren't really working out for me there. And I decided that I'd move to Anytime Fitness. If to put my hand up, I probably didn't do enough research into the demographics there, but it for me, the rent was incredibly affordable, and they were keen on me having a team. And I just went, look, I'll give it a go. Hey, I think for me, some of the reasons why it didn't work out was just the demographics and the different kinds of people in that facility didn't really suit me. And and as well too, they had the kind of model where you had to sign up for like a 12-month contract. So I was trying to kind of get people outside and then sell them into a 12-month contract at the gym. I faced some challenges doing that as well too. So didn't have any kind of no lock-ins. Yeah, obviously there was a lot of other reasons, but those would be the main two.
Yeah. So looking back on it, like your experience from it, I guess to help and to educate others would be maybe, if I'm hearing you correctly, maybe do your research a bit more first. Although you probably felt like you'd done a bit of that, you still probably jumped in as a whole new experience for you.
I think I was just so pumped because so many places had told me that I couldn't have trainers working there. And I've been turned back quite a bit. So I found this place, and it was just, I was like, look, just you'll make it work. I kind of knew what the demographics were. I had done my research, but I thought, look, I'll make it work. And it just turned out it just wasn't quite the right place for me.
Yeah, yeah. And I know, your personality, you're filled with like energy and enthusiasm and so forth. So you're definitely more like the optimist. So it was like, yep, I'll just make this happen type of thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I was like, I'll make it work. So yeah,
yeah,
that's exactly what happened.
yeah. Now, obviously finishing up there, but was that a challenging time for you? Because obviously now you're probably what, 3.5, 4 years down the track or something, aren't you, of being a PT? So tell us a bit about that experience.
You mean when I finished up at any time and moved to
Yeah,
Green
yeah, because you
Zone?
sort of started from scratch again, didn't you? Almost, is that right?
Yeah, yeah, it was probably one of the most challenging things I've ever been through.
Yeah,
My business was not looking good there. Had
yeah,
just been a steady kind of a decline, and I was right back down to like only making like $700 a week or something, and
yeah,
I just knew like it wasn't going to go my way there.
yeah,
So my kind of thoughts initially was I was like, look, you just need to get your income up. You just need to get this baby like firing again.
yeah,
And I decided that I'd move to like a big box gym where I knew there was going to be tons of, clients, at my fingertips, lots
yeah,
of different people. And my thought wasn't to build a team there. I was just like, look, just get out of this situation that you're in, build it up, and then we can take things from there. So that was probably, that experience at any time's definitely been one of the most challenging things I've been through in business. It was a real point for me where it was like, well, you know, how bad do you want this? Like, and how much you're going to push through to get out of this.
yeah. And I guess you'd
Yeah.
gone from a spot where you'd been like quite busy yourself,
Yeah.
good income,
Yeah.
to moving on now to now build a team and build the business and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Reality for you, but didn't work out the way you wanted it to. And then
That's
it's like, all
right.
right, now sort of back to now just, did you
Yep.
almost think I'm going to scrap this idea of building a team, or was it always, we always thought I'm going to, what was the thought process then?
I think if I'm honest, like it was just a bit of like, it was just like get out of what's happening at the moment, get yourself out of hot water.
Yeah,
Because at the time, like, yeah, I was just looking at like it was just going backwards. So I hadn't really thought about what I'd do next. All I knew was that I was like, look, you just need to get out of there and get your client base up, and then we'll take things from there. But it definitely wasn't. I guess, yeah, it got a bit, the first initial try at sort of building the team
yeah.
wasn't the best experience for
Wasn't
me. So
wasn't great. It could have easily put you right off it altogether. And
easily, and I remember the turning point for me when I decided again to build the team. Me and you were at one of the group coaching things for the students in Perth.
yeah,
And you'd go on to me, you'd go like, well, are you going to hire a trainer at Green Zone? And I'd been like, I think I'm sort of still licking my wounds, but I was like, oh, I don't know, I don't think they're going to let me do it. And you go, well, have you asked them? And I was like, no. and then and then from there, that's when I went, nah, look, let's have a go.
yeah,
And yeah, like obviously I've hired somebody now, so that worked out. I think I just needed that little bit of an extra push
yeah,
at that
yeah.
moment, at
That's
that point
excellent.
where I was at.
Yeah, I think like for anyone, I guess the message is like don't give up, because I've seen plenty of examples
Mm,
where hey, you had your heart set on something, hoping it was going to work somewhere for some
mm,
reason, circumstance, and maybe you weren't quite ready for it. A whole bunch
yep.
of things. I'm sure you'd stick your hand up for plenty of things from your
Oh
perspective.
yeah, definitely.
Um,
Yeah, yep,
but then
yep.
it's like, well, let's not give up on the dream, because you've now ended up at Green Zone, great facility. So tell us a bit about how it works then now. So you got your PT on board, and also you're running mostly semi-private. So
Yeah, yep. So I've got a trainer there now, and we are
yeah,
running it on a semi-private model. So
mm,
it's really great in the sense that I don't really need, like, I'm not going to need to have like 5 or 6 trainers,
mm,
because the income that I can make, I guess the margins on it are so high
mm,
that we don't need to have like a huge amount of people, a
mm.
huge amount of trainers to get the same income that you would on like the one-on-one kind
Yeah,
of model.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
excellent. And it's a great model, the semi-private, and I mean you've really embraced it, haven't you? And I guess in many ways, can you tell us a bit about how many one-on-one sessions you're doing versus semi-privates and so forth at the moment?
Yeah, sure. So I guess the exact numbers, I'd have to look at my spreadsheets, but I'd say we're probably doing maybe 80% semi-private, 20% one-on-one, and we're looking at trying to get rid of one-on-one completely. I mean, we'll still have it available, but
Yeah,
we just want to be all about that small group training model. It's the best way forward for me and
yeah,
the business. And I really, there's so many things I like about it. Obviously, there's parts of it that there's a lot more lead generation, and you have to be a bit more organized with a few different aspects of the programming and making sure the appointments run really smooth. But I think it's worth it for what it does. And it's not just about the margins and the money that you make off it. It's the community feel that you get from it, and the people in the groups they form, because it's such a small group, maximum of 4. They really start to connect with each other, and you can build that community and feel like it's more like a movement rather than just rocking up for your training session with your PT.
Yep. That's excellent. And that people love, they buy into that, that whole element. And it can lack in gyms, that's for sure, and not, at any gym out there. So the more you can build that sense of community for your business, the better. So you take up to 4 people in a session. Is that because you're limited to how many you can have in a session, or what?
It's not really that. How did I work out 4? I guess we wanted to charge like quite a good rate on the session. So I felt like 4-on-1 still get that kind of individualized attention from the trainer. Yeah. And I just worked out, I guess, the numbers, and it made sense for me from there to do, 2 to 4 people in it. Obviously the max is 4. Yeah. But the way that we've actually worked it out now, like with our goals and our targets, because initially we started off saying, if we can still put 4 people in it. Yeah. But with our goals and our targets, we worked it out that we only need 3 people to be paying in it to hit the goals that we're looking at doing. It just worked out that once we looked at, I guess, the sheer numbers of what it took, because we're aiming to get 38 of them full, and the numbers that it would take to have 4 people in that, it was a bit too far out. And we went, well, can we just make money off the 3? And it's like, definitely, it's great. So that's what we're working on at the moment, but you can fit 4 in it if we need to.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, cool. So it's great to know that you're not pressured to try and fill the 4 in every spot, that even at 3, it's a profitable model.
Yeah. Or 2 even, it's not bad. Like that's how I work the numbers, because everyone's like, oh, how come you charge this much money for it? But the way I did it was, I was like, well, what if there's only 2 people in it? Then that's going to happen all the time, and I don't want to get jibbed. So I just worked it out, and that's kind of where the pricing came from.
Yeah, and I think as you've described it to me before, you're delivering a premium service, a premium product. Do you mind just sharing with us like what clients might pay to be part of the program? I know you got various packages and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, certainly. So we've got 3 different levels on the program. Yeah. I guess we're offering like the one that Jason's kind of run through with the students. I guess that offering like an entire kind of package and product, and you pay like a weekly fee. Yep. So obviously there's nutrition, there's all that jazz. I'm sure everyone on the line's aware of what can go into a program. I won't go into that. But if we really work it out of what it is per session, level 1's $99 a week. That's 2 sessions. Yep. You've got level 3 at $150 a week, which is 3 sessions. And then we've got level 4, which is unlimited sessions, and we've popped that at $169.
$169. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so 150 is 3 sessions, did you say? Yeah. Okay. So roughly about per person, about the $50 mark, thereabouts per person per session. Yeah. But if I join up for the unlimited, well, I can come to say 5 days a week, and then my per session rate drops right down. You got the guaranteed 169 coming in through direct debit.
Yeah, exactly. But most people are only really going to go to 4. So yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. That's great.
Yeah.
And with that, have you actually found, obviously you guys promote it semi-private as opposed to your one-on-one, but have you found that there's been a bit of a swing towards it? What's your thoughts on it?
Well, I guess because we just sell the benefits of it to them at the start. So even when they're coming in for the trial session, like what we've done is we've gone to the client, well, you can have a complimentary one-on-one session. You can just have the one, or we'll give you a week of unlimited small group training. So you can come to as many as you like, up to 6. Now, the benefit of that is you get more bang for your buck, and we're finding that we just get way better results for clients, because you're not just accountable to me, you're accountable to the people in your team. So my recommendation would be that you go for that and you get the 6 as opposed to the 1. What do you reckon? And what do you think they're going to say? Like it's a bit of a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's excellent. And I guess it's something you can hear the passion as you say it, it comes through. So if you believe in it, there's so many different training methodologies out there, but it's the one, that works. You've got the proven track record and people are liking it. So that's excellent.
Yeah.
I know that you're very systems processes orientated. So
wasn't at the start, but yeah, yeah.
Well, let's talk about that first. Tell us a bit about,
Yeah.
I mean, you've been on our coaching program for 3 years now, you know, so you've been
Yeah.
a client of ours. Tell us a bit about like what stuff that you had in place prior and then where that's evolved to now.
Prior, nothing. Yeah, I had nothing, Brad. Like I literally zero business knowledge, systems knowledge when I started the program. Zero.
And now I definitely, you know, classify as someone who's really put a lot of time and effort into that. So tell us a bit about, for example, your sales process. Sort of just talk us through a little bit of a process on it and how that might look in this day and age.
Yeah, sure. So I guess most of them, we first make a connection on the phone where we ask a series of just short questions, and then we've got some forms that we send out to them. A lot of these forms, I guess they've got a lot of objections kind of hidden in there, so to say. So we can start to get a bit of a perception of obviously everything to do with their goals and then as an individual, but also things like price points. How many times have you tried to do this? And so forth. So we've really got quite a bit of information on that person before we even sit down in front of them. And then from there we run them through like a goal setting and coaching session. So that's where, without like going into every single last point of it, what we're trying to really uncover is that what's their pain, like what's their pain points that they've been experiencing in the past, and also too, I guess, how we can provide like a solution for those problems to them. Because a lot of the mindset of people when they come into the gym, they've gone into the gym multiple times before. They think that because they've joined a different gym that it's going to be different this time, and they think the gym's the solution. But my real aim of the goal setting session, with a lot of compassion, of course, is to show them that what makes you think it's going to be different this time around. And if you've done this, you know, 3 to 4 times and you've gotten nowhere, then you're setting yourself up for some failure. It's going to be a lot longer and have far more ups and downs. And we've got the solutions to help you if that person's the right fit for us. So that there's obviously there's phases to the goal setting session that we go through, but that would be like, I guess, a summary of the objective of it. And then from there, what we want to do is we want to get those people into that week of unlimited small group training. So they really get to experience what it's like. They get hooked on it. And then from there, we get my trainer, or whether it's usually my trainer because she does all the leg work, but she'll get them into like a blueprint session with me. And that's where we remap like all the stuff that we talked about, rehash over all the stuff we talked about in the goal setting session, and then make the recommendation on which one of the packages is going to be the best and most effective fit for them. And then we essentially we want to close them then, and get them as an ongoing client.
And that blueprint session you mentioned, is that does that happen if I'm doing my unlimited week of small group training? Does that happen at the start, midway, at the end?
Sure. Yeah, it happens at the end. So that it goes like week of unlimited, get that person like really loving this, going, yep, this is something that I see myself doing. And then from there, at the end of it, we go, you know, is this something you see yourself doing? Do you see benefit in this? And we close them into meeting up with me for a one-on-one like coffee blueprint session. And that's when we get them ongoing paying.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Great system, and you can tell just the way you explain it. You're all over it. You know it incredibly well, and you've developed it well. What you were going to say something?
Oh no, I was just going to say thanks. I was just going to say thanks. I've done it. I've really, with like Laura and my coach, we did so much work on sales, and obviously I'm forever a student of it. I'm always looking to get better, but I use the program so intensely for that aspect of it for the first few years. And I'd advise anyone that's struggling, like, you've got to look at that part, because if you can't do that part, nothing else really matters. You know, like you have to be able to get the clients in.
It's so powerful. And I think the other thing that, you know, my observation of yourself as well, because we've got the tools, we've got the intellectual property you get access to, but you know, you grab it and you use it, you know, that's, you know, and then you drill it with your coach, and you know, so it's why you get these type of results with it. So but it wasn't always that way for you. So let's talk about maybe jumping on the phone and making calls and all that. Like you said, we get on the phone, we ask them a bunch of questions, rewind back to the start. What were you like at that sort of stuff?
I was absolutely terrible. I would say that I really do think that I probably, if, say someone starts off in sales and maybe they're like average at it, I would say I was below average. I was crap.
Yeah.
Couldn't make a cold call to save my life, and it's just I face, like, I guess, a lot of resistance with it. I actually had a few times, like it was when I was back at Anytime Fitness, that they kind of heard me on the phone a few times, and I was told I sounded like a telemarketer, and I sound like a sleazy salesperson, and it could have really put me off. But I just persisted with it because I knew it was a skill that I had to develop, and now I absolutely slay the calls. So I'm really confident on the phone. I'd actually say cold calling is probably one of my stronger points now in all of the sales process.
Yeah, and there's probably not a huge number of people out there who would stick up their hand and say that, or even say they, are prepared to do it. So, and it just goes to show the results that you're getting are reflecting in that. So,
yeah, we just done so much work with Lauren on like tweaking the scripts, and I think Jason's just put up so much material. I think it's just really having to understand, I guess, like what's happening to the client when you call them, and just the natural, normal responses that people are going to say, I'm busy or I'm this, and just being able to go like snap and be able to get them out of that. So essentially you can get them in for that first goal setting session that you're going to do with them, but you have to know how to do that, or you're just going to die on the phone. You won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing I acknowledge, you invest a fair bit of time as well in this process up front. We've got the questions, we've got the forms, we've got the goal setting session, we've got the unlimited week, then we've got the blueprint session. There's quite a bit to it. So I'd say there's quite a bit of buy-in, and that would would breed that level of liking you, trusting you, knowing, getting to know your business better. Yeah.
Actually, now we mention it, like another thing we do after we've met up with them for that first goal setting session is we just keep on upping it, try to get better. We send them off articles that we've written. I send them off my ebook. We get them in for a body fat scan. So even if we don't get the client initially, I want that person to just walk away going, oh my God, like if this is what she's like now when we're not even paying her, what is it going to be like when I'm her client?
Yeah, it's fantastic. You can see it, like you think from a client's perspective, amazing. So, All right. Well, now your observation of the PT industry. So you've been in the game now for 5 or so years. So, why is it, in your opinion, why you think some PTs might be struggling or not quite getting the results that they want and so forth?
Yeah, sure. I think that for most trainers, they put so much emphasis on learning about the technical aspect of training, which obviously that's really important and we need to master that. But they don't understand the value, or they don't understand really how important it is to learn about sales, marketing, systems, projections for your business, know your numbers. They have absolutely no idea that that's going to directly correlate with the success that they get in their business. And I hear it all the time. They're going, I'm doing this next, TRX course or the next kettlebell course. It's like, well, have you thought about doing a business course? Because you can't close your sales. Think you can get all that stuff later. They need to focus on learning about those things first, but they do it like in reverse. So they focus on becoming like a technical master, which is, like I said, it's important, but they need to understand that if they can't close a client or they don't know how to generate their leads, their longevity in industry is going to be very short.
And there's nothing wrong with doing the TRX course, kettlebells, whatever it is that you do. We highly encourage it, to become better as a technician. But you're exactly right. You just see so many people get caught up in that or think that's the only solution to it. On the flip side, this other part can suffer.
Yeah, completely agree with you. All that stuff's really important, but if you don't master the other aspects, then you're going to face some struggles. And I see it time and time again with trainers, and they don't understand the importance of it.
Now, you've always had a bit of, I guess, personal change to personal growth. What, from your perspective, what might be some of the turning points that you've noticed yourself in terms of personal growth and personal development that's played an impact on, I guess, the results plus yourself personally?
I'm just trying to, I guess, pinpoint some pivotal moments for me. I can say that every time that I've had to break through like a different income target, I have to step up and like become like, a different kind of a person. So I can see the direct, like the correlation between, I guess, personal development and how much your business is going to grow.
And each of those, like, you look back at your timeline along the way and all those little moments where it's like, okay, the business is requiring me to step up because I've set these goals or targets. Now I got to step up and change me personally.
Yeah, exactly. I guess, well, when I think about it, the person that I was before I started the program, I do feel like I've completely grown and changed as an individual. I'm just so much more of a go-getter. I'm so much more assertive, and I really, it's really made me so tenacious in pursuing the goals. And especially since I have had, like, some setbacks, like we all do, just showing myself, like, that no matter what, going through those, I have been able to overcome so many, and just build so much confidence in yourself as a business owner when you look back on them.
Yeah. And then I guess you find that those qualities are so transferable to every other aspect of your life as well. So,
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, you mentioned Lauren's name once or twice. So Lauren's your coach at Create PT Wealth. Tell us a bit about the importance of having a coach and, the interaction and that side of it.
Yeah, when I first started, I guess I didn't really know what I was going to get out of it. In terms of the importance, with Lauren, it's not coaching's not about someone kind of telling you what to do and then kind of babying you. It's more about she'll just kind of guide and direct you in the direction that you're trying to take the business, and give you, I guess, the proper steps, help you map out the proper steps forward to do that. Yeah. As well too, like, I guess the importance of it is that if you're kind of sitting there and you're having some struggles developing your PT business, the reality is that the average person has no idea how to do it. So if you've got someone in your corner who's like Lauren, she's an absolute expert. She's been able to help me overcome so many challenges in it. There's absolutely no way I would have gotten to where I am now without her support, her advice, and her just guiding me on that path. But I've always been the one steering it. She's just helping me kind of map out the road, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You've been driving it, and then you got someone on your team who really can help you and assist you and, guide you in the right direction there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And doing it alone, it just wouldn't have been an option. I would not have known what to do. And I think for me too, when I have been facing some of those hurdles, her support and, guidance in those times, again, there's no way I would have gotten through that personally without having her kind of cheering me on. Yeah,
that's excellent. Good to hear. So now, targets-wise, so obviously the future's looking pretty bright for you. Do you want to enlighten us as to some of your session targets? I know when I was over in Perth with you, you alluded me to a few of the ideas where you're heading in terms of session numbers and so forth.
Yeah, sure. So we're looking at getting 38 of the small group training sessions full. We're currently, and that's going to require us to have 111 sessions per week. So we're currently almost just a half of that. And our aim is to really have those completely full by January, like at the start of January to maybe mid to late January. I'd like to be flexible about it, but those are our current targets at this point.
Yeah, so around about 3 months' time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, excellent. And I think, from what we spoke about the other day, you seem quite clear on your what you need to do. What the game plan looks like. How you're going to get there.
Yeah, definitely. We're just trying to accelerate it a little bit quicker because we've been able to build it up to this point, but we just definitely want to have it happen a little bit faster. So there's some strategies that we're just going through with Lauren at the moment to make that happen. But we can see that we've already reached halfway. Basically we've generated most of those leads ourselves, not from the gym. And then we can see that we just need to duplicate that again, but just faster. And that's what we're working on at the moment with Lauren to do that.
And interesting point you raised, because you're inside a commercial gym. How many other PTs operate from that gym?
So including me and my trainer, Chrissy, it's 15. So I guess it's me and Chrissy and then 13 other trainers. 13
other PTs, So it's a competitive environment, but as you described it, good, harmonious environment, good place to be a part of.
Yeah.
but you've embraced the concept of not being reliant upon gym or getting leads. It's like, all right, well, we need to generate lead for this business. I'm going to go out there and make it happen. That's pretty much the mindset.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't want to rely on, because essentially if you just rely on them, you're letting them control your business. So, and we don't want to run that plan. We want it to be completely in our control. So we're just going to go out there and get them ourselves. And the great thing about being at a gym is that all the clients are just there waiting for you. I mean, on the gym floor or on different kind of lists that you can get. Yeah. And a lot of the lead gen stuff that we do at the moment is free. So it's good.
Yeah. That's great. And, I guess people have voted with their feet. They've rocked up to the gym for a reason. And again, we see it all around the country, with PTs who sort of start finger pointing to the gym, and it's like, oh, the reason my business isn't going as successful, the reason I haven't got clients is because of them. They're not giving me leads anymore and so forth. Whereas I think you totally flipped that model on its head, where you're like, all right, well, we're going to assume full responsibility for this. It's my business. I run underneath the roof of that gym.
Yeah.
The gym will still supply us with leads. That's fantastic. We will gracefully accept them and look after those people. But at the same time, I don't want to rest on the idea that the gyms, that's their whole and sole responsibility.
That's probably been a really good point for me to make, is that anytime in the business where I have had times where there's been some struggles, it's all about taking like personal responsibility. That's been the biggest turning point for me, was that anything that's going on, whether it be leads or anything, just to go, I will take whole and sole responsibility for where I'm at with that. And then I'm going to put the steps in place to move forward on it, rather than, I will never play the blame game. I'll always take my part for any situation that I'm in. And that is so essential. If you want to get ahead in business, you have to take responsibility and take action and take the power back.
Yeah, phenomenal. Great mantra. Now, you've joined us on a couple of our Ignite Your Ultimate Success summits overseas. So tell us brief bit about that. What, why come along to it, and what's it like hanging out with the rest of the gang when you're over there?
Yeah, I absolutely love them. I think when you're trying to succeed in business, I think a lot of the time we'll look at, I guess, the practical side, all right, lead generation marketing and all those kind of things. But if you are having some resistance, there could be a major chance that you might be experiencing some blockages and be having some things coming up with things like limiting belief systems. And with Ignite Your Ultimate Success Summit, that's what that is there to do. It's there to help you overcome those. Because if you're putting in all the effort, the work, and you're pushing, you're still not getting it, there's a good chance that that's something to do with your mindset. So I would so highly recommend getting along to those events, because for me, every time I've done one, it's just helped me get to that next level and that next step. And sometimes you just got to take a bit of a step back too, and be able to have a look at things which that was able to do for you as well, because you're away from your natural environment.
Yeah. So great getting out of your natural habitat, and then also connecting with like-minded individuals, because I guess thinking about the program, you align yourself with people who are going through what you're going through, and you get to share your experiences and so forth.
Yeah, I think as well too, just like you said, sharing your experiences and understanding that everybody has things coming up for them. You're not alone, and you get to connect with some other people that have been there, done that, and overcome it, and it's so inspiring. And I think just the general mindset of those people, that's what you want to be around. You want to be around people like that have got the same mindset as you, and that go to these events, because that's the kind of people that will attract really pumped individuals that want to go to the next level in their life.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Awesome. Now, any advice? So obviously there's plenty of PTs out there in Australia at the moment, more people getting graduated, qualified, all that sort of stuff. What's your advice if someone was to say to you, hey Vic, I'm thinking about becoming a PT? What's your recommendation?
Sure. I mean, I'd say you need to understand that you do have a business, and that you're not just a personal trainer, you also need to be a business owner. Depending on what you're like as a person. For me, it wasn't enough just to do the sessions week after week and just be stuck in that. I know for some people, they're completely fine with that. But if you are of the mindset of you'd like a bit more out of it than just something that you constantly have to rock up to and slave away and day out. And you really want to build it up as a business, understanding that you going in and doing the sessions and just rocking up, exchanging time for money, you do not have a business. If that's where you're at, then you really need to get around the right people to help you and make the process a lot easier for yourself. If you're happy just rocking up, then that's cool. But yeah, if what I'm saying, if that's resonating, you go, no, I would like more, then my advice would be to get onto learning about this stuff immediately. I wish that I'd learnt about it at the very start of my PT career, because I was about 3.5 years in before I even considered any of it.
Yeah, and not uncommon, hey. So, and then you get around it, you get a taste of it. Now you see what's possible. It's hard to describe to somebody else, hey, I guess, until you've now been there. The other bit that I get to observe, and part of the pleasure for us, is to get to see the change in people like yourself, you know. So
yeah, for sure. Like I guess for me, like when I was at that point before I decided to start up and start to embark on the program, I didn't know what I needed to do to get out of the, say, rat race of it. But I knew that I was looking into the future at the time of just doing, you know, the sessions back to back. And I was looking at the other trainers that had maybe been there for many years doing that. And I just said, something within me just went, that's not going to be me. I'm not doing that 3 years later. I won't tolerate that. So that was what really drove me to begin and start it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Fantastic. And out of your 38 sessions a week, how many will you be taking? How many will your PT be taking?
I'll be taking 7. I'm actually currently taking 7. And Chrissy will be taking 30. Yeah. That's just to kick off. Yeah. Potentially she might be taking more later on.
Yeah. And so you've really sort of moved yourself away from lots of hands-on to less hands-on. The sessions you take, you still enjoy it, I take it?
Yeah, definitely. Like I do like it. I do. I think I like, if I'm being honest, I think I like the business side a bit more now. Yep. Yeah, like that really drives me. But yeah, I definitely still like taking the sessions a lot more now than I did before, because before I was doing so many, and you can get a little bit, it's a bit repetitive after so many years. But now when I do the sessions, you know, it's awesome because I'm just doing such a small number, and it's still very enjoyable. Yeah.
Yeah, that's excellent. Fantastic. So cool. I think, you know, a couple of observations from me is just your, you know, your dedication to, you know, implementing systems and following the process and so forth, and that change that I've seen you go through, which has been awesome. So, any other bits of advice or words of wisdom for people out there in this PT space?
Yeah, just get out of your own way. Like, in the sense of, like, if you're struggling and there's a lot of resistance and you're not getting what you want out of the industry and you're starting, there's people that can help you. And that's what I see, is that they're just in their own way in that sort of a sense. So push through that, push through the fear that you might be feeling. And if you're the kind of person that would like a bit more out of the industry and would like to create a business, then you need to get around these guys, because they're awesome.
Agree.
Yeah, funny that.
Yeah, good solid advice. All right, well, let's talk a little bit more about Vic. Let's learn a little bit more about you. A few fun questions. So what's your favourite food?
Pizza or burgers.
Oh yeah. So any particular type of pizza, like any type that's like?
Oh, well, yeah, I'd probably say one with all the different kind of continental meats on it, lots of chili, lots of cheese.
Oh yeah, nice, good.
Yeah.
What about band or music, or, you know, what's your style?
Got a pretty eclectic taste in music. I will say if I'm training, like, it's got to be drum and bass just to pump me up and smash out a session. Yeah. But I would say it's a pretty eclectic mix other than that.
And what about, like, if you're chilling out or something, what might you have then? What music might you have then?
It's probably still electronic music, but maybe just not quite as upbeat as drum and bass would be. Hey, yeah.
Yeah, I could see you drum and bass in it. You, especially with your style of training, it's high intensity, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So obviously that pumps you up. What do you do to unwind or relax?
I do meditation. I like to go hiking. I just like to get out in nature, and that I find that incredibly relaxing. Also going down to the beach,
Yeah.
and things like that really help me unwind.
Yeah. Do you watch any TV shows?
Yeah, I love Wentworth. That's
Wentworth.
Wentworth probably my number one favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it or heard of it. Is that am I uncool because I haven't heard of it? Or
I don't know. No, you're cool. Basically, it's an Aussie drama about a women's sort of prison show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's savage. I love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what about book? What book you're currently reading or have you recently read that's had an impact on you?
I'm actually I listen to audiobooks, and I'm re-listening to Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That book's amazing. And yeah, even, it's one of those books where you've got to read or listen to it a few times over there's so many kind of golden nuggets in it, really. It's really cool. Yeah.
It is so cool. It's definitely one of our recommended resources. And I agree with you. I even find some of those classics, that's like rehash it, listen to it again. It's like, you get the light bulb moment again, several times. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's cool. And what about you got a holiday destination planned for the future? What something up your sleeve you're going to be doing?
We go to this place called Rottnest Island in Perth for Christmas. I know that's not really out there.
Is that where they got the little
the quokkas?
That's
yeah. I'd really like to go to Iceland. That's probably one of my main goals is to get there. That would be amazing. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Sounds great. Well, look, so obviously you want to build your business. So if people want to contact you or want to get in touch or any of that sort of stuff, be it, people want to find out more about PT or personal trainers want to find out about, joining your organization, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, sure. So you can just contact me directly on my mobile. Do you want me to bash that out?
Sure, do it. Yeah.
048125 7720, or you can just go on to, if you want to have a little bit of a look about what my business is all about, there's my website, which is vlfitnessessentials.com.au.
Okay, so it's VL Fitness?
VL Fitness Essentials.
Yep, okay. VLFITNESS, and then the word essentials?
Yes.
Yeah, .com.au.
You got it.
Cool, excellent. Well, look, Victoria Loney, it's been an absolute pleasure. You're just an amazing client, an amazing success story, an example, from our opinion, of what's possible, and also you just the way that you represent yourself. And I've certainly got some great insights hearing from you today. So I want to say thanks for just being amazing.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. I was so pumped today. So yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, it's great that you can, be able to share your message with others out there too, and they can, connect with it, resonate with it. So, yeah.
Thanks, Brad.
Onwards and upwards from here, eh?
Oh yeah, boom, shake the room.
Excellent, Vic. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.